Hey guys, it's me, Seren, back with another video. It's your second video of the day today, and I'm really excited to be bringing you this Hidden Figures video. If you saw my video on my last Black Friday video on coral oral toothbrushes, they had on the back a little blurb about Ida Gray Nelson Rollins, who was the first Black American woman dentist. And I was like, oh, I'm going to make her this week's Hidden Figure. So today's Hidden Figure is Ida Gray Nelson Rollins, the first African-American woman dentist who was born in Clarksville, Tennessee on March 4th, 1867. She became an orphan when her mother, Jennie Gray, died in her early teens, and after her mother's death, Ida was raised by her aunt, Caroline Gray, who had 3 other children. Caroline Gray was uneducated and unable to read or write when she moved from Clarksville, Tennessee to Cincinnati, Ohio in 1867 with the 4 children. And in Ohio, Gray supported the family by working as a seamstress and housing foster children. All of the Gray children, including Ida, contributed to the family's income, and while in high school, Rollins worked as a seamstress and dressmaker and in the dental office of Jonathan and William Taft. Ida Gray graduated from Gaines Public High School in 1887 when she was 20 years old. The part-time job in the dental office was instrumental in her desire to become a dentist. Jonathan Taft was the dean of the Ohio College of Dentistry, and in 1875, he became the first dean of the dental college at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, Michigan. As dean, he was a staunch supporter of admitting women to dental school, and subsequently, 5 years later, in 1875, the first woman was enrolled. The mentorship provided by William Taft set the foundation for Rollins to become the first African-American woman to graduate from a dental school. Her ability to pass the entrance exam into the University of Michigan was aided by the experience that she gained working in his dental office. Gray enrolled in October 1887, and 3 years later, she became the first African-American woman to graduate with a doctorate of dental surgery in the United States. After graduation in 1890, Gray returned to Cincinnati, Ohio, and opened a private dental practice. She remained in this practice until 1895 when she married Sanford Nelson, a Spanish-American War veteran. The couple moved to Chicago, Illinois, where Rollins set up a practice serving a clientele of men and women of all races, and she soon became the first African-American, male or female, to practice dentistry in Chicago. Her husband died on March 11th, 1926, and 3 years later, at the age of 62, she married William Rollins, a waiter, becoming known as Ida Gray Nelson Rollins. Go ahead. Getting married at 62. It's never too late. It's never too late. In addition to her dentistry, Nelson was involved in several clubs, and her social activities were widely reported in the Black press. She was like a Black socialite dentist. She served as vice president of the Professional Women's Club of Chicago, vice president of the 8th Regiment Ladies Auxiliary, and was a member of the Phyllis Wheatley Club, a group organized to maintain the only Black women's shelter in Chicago. She also inspired one of her patients, Olive M. Henderson, to become the second Black woman dentist in Chicago. Though her office relocated several times, Nelson continued to practice until her retirement in 1928. On June 20th, 1944, her second husband died from injuries sustained in a motor vehicle accident. She did not have any children from either marriage and remained a widow until her death. Rollins died on May 3rd, 1953 in Chicago, Illinois, and she was 86 years old. Now, I don't have a direct quote from her, but I do have a newspaper listing for her practice. Let me open that. There it is. Ida Gray Nelson, DDS, the only colored lady dentist in the country, graduate of Ann Arbor, Michigan, is very popular and has a large and lucrative practice in the city of Chicago. Ida Gray Nelson Rollins, a Hidden Figure. Hopefully you guys are having a good week. See you guys next time. Peace.